Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Launching Life's Journeys podcast. I am your host, Will. Of course, this is powered by Heartland RV. Now, we're doing a special campground series with Marvac, so I want to welcome my lovely co-host, Miss Maris Brennan.
Hello, everybody. As Will said, my name is Maris, and I'm the Director of Membership at Marvac, which is the Michigan Association of RVs and Campgrounds. If you've been listening to the series, you know that we're the trade association for RV dealers, RV campgrounds, manufacturers like Heartland, and it's my job to get the consumers in touch with our members. And so today, let's talk about that. Well, where's our destination today?
Our destination today takes us to Stockbridge, Michigan, northeast of Jackson, to Heartland Woods Family Resort. And our guest, Mark, who looks like he's at the gym every single day, Mark Koss of Heartland Woods. He is the marketing and sales manager in Benso for 10 years, Heartland Woods. And Mark, welcome to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Will and Maris. I couldn't be more happy to be here.
So, Mark, let's talk about how we met and how you guys are associated with Marvac and how you got A-listed to be on the Will and Maris show.
A-listed, yes, I agree. I should have worn my tuxedo. No. So basically, what had happened was we were talking about music, which is kind of how I fell onto the park out here at one of the camper shows that you guys put on. Another great year, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just got talking about a music festival I think you were at, and then we kind of, spoiled into what we do, which is we do a Bridgestock out here, because we're in Stockbridge. So we turn the town around for the night or for the weekend or sometimes 7 days.
Awesome. And so with Bridgestock, and I think we'll get into that after the meat and the potatoes, tell us a little bit about your journey. 10 years ago, when you were a little kid, before you started hitting the gym, were you like, I'm going to run a campground? Kind of, how did you get started? And I know time travels fast, and talk about your last 10 years with Heartland Woods.
Sure. So I thought I was going to be a rock star. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then the band broke up. So then I thought, well, I could be a one-man band. I'll go to recording school. I'll learn how to record my own stuff. We'll do that, right? So I got done with recording school, and I was getting ready to, start being like a music promoter / producer. And I got a call from a guy who I went to high school with, and he was friends with somebody out here. They were looking for a band and somebody to run the sound. They wanted to do like this battle of the bands weekend. So enter Mark, coming straight out of recording school. Heck yeah, I could produce a show for you guys. You know what I mean? And it turned out they had like most of the bands already booked and everything, but they needed somebody to run the sound. So I was able to find that. I was able to corner everybody. And so when it came down to the day, they were like, well, all right, so I had a band for them. I was running the sound, and the guy organizing the whole thing was like, Mark, you're going to, set up the bands, whichever order they go in. So I put my band up last, if I have the opportunity, right?
Yeah, right.
So all the other bands were like playing Battle of the Bands music, like their own music. The fans, the members out here, they didn't understand what was going on. So when we got up there, we pulled out the Feel Like Making Love, The Joker, Sweet Home Alabama. So by the end of the night, everybody was loving the songs they knew. We won the Battle of the Bands. And so year after year now, this is going to be our 13th Bridgestock. And I've only been here at the campground working for 10 years. So I was doing Bridgestock 3 years before I started. So
that's awesome. So it all started with a concert, and then you figured, hey, I know how to win this. We'll play songs that everybody knows. And so you did all the cover band.
Well, I wish I could say that I was a 13-time champion, but no, I took more pride after I realized what this place was as the membership campground that we are. I wanted to put on a good show for the members. The members come out here and they spend a lot of time out here. So I wanted to put on a good show for them. And then there just a spot came open. And, I called George, and he kind of, like I said, we were always in contact talking about the next concert. So it just came in, and it just was the right time to start learning how to do it out here. So now, we talk and we're like, it's not friends anymore. Now it's like he's my mentor, and he like has helped, lots of different aspects of my life. Not that, but I mean, I think that puts the heart in what we do. I'm sure you have heart in what you guys do, being Heartland, now that we have the same name or whatever.
You guys are twinning.
Yeah. So, and I hear Heartland is trending.
Yeah, we are trending as you guys are as well. And it's funny, Maris has us both getting popular. So God bless the co-host with the most.
You're welcome.
So Maris, I wanted you to kind of ask him, because they do have a very unique membership thing. So you want to take that away and kind of.
Yeah. A lot of the Marvick members are a traditional type campground where they have some transient sites and some seasonal sites. Mark's is a little bit different. They have memberships. So Mark, do you want to talk to that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. So it's nice when you have membership, because you can control a lot better who's in the park. And I think where you go nowadays more than ever is like security is becoming more and more important. So, it's not so much like we got the Rottweilers out there chasing, people through the park or whatever, but it's just more so that we always know who's in the park. We can control everything a lot better. We don't need, armed security, not saying, that's not an option, but we don't, it's not a necessity. And I think the big part also is, with all the stuff that goes on nowadays, we put everybody through a background check to make sure they're not on Megan's list, you know what I mean? Or Megan's law. So it's a big thing for us, and we try to, take that serious. So with the membership too, you can camp a lot more than traditional camping, because you're not paying per night anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. It comes down to more of a long-term type of a situation than it is just $40 a night or whatever it is. I think now the average is like $55 a night. So not everybody has that. They spent all that money on the camper, and they don't have that every weekend to spend.
Right. Right.
So, and that's on the low end. I would say, a lot of times when people want, full hookups and 50 amps and, everything like that, they're paying $65 to $70 a night retail. You know what I mean? Go to a Yogi Bear or some of those other places there, charge for everything.
So your memberships, do they go on a calendar year or are they monthly? How does it work?
So we have different terms for different budgets and different levels of interest. You know what I mean? So you come out, you sit with me for a little while, you get some free camping just for hearing how it all works, get your pricing, whatever. You can come out, you can camp while you tour, so we try to make it convenient. And another thing that we do that's different is like Bridgestock, it's open to the public. So on those particular weekends, the haunting at the end of the season, also we do our Heartland haunting the last weekend of September. So those 2 weekends, people can come out, camp, check it out, and they don't even really have to hear about the membership if they don't want to. Obviously, we like it. That's how we grow, is by selling memberships and things like that. But just to get the bug out that there's other places that do membership besides places that charge for your firstborn or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and what I honestly can appreciate too, I mean, traveling coast to coast in North America, we have over 700 dealer locations. So I talk to a lot of campers, and that is probably the number one thing is after they buy their coach, is talking about planning and budgeting. And I think having a membership, it does give families a lot more consistency, especially, and I don't want to, pin you in a corner, but what would attract me is if I'm somebody that wants stability in where I camp and find, maybe Heartland Woods as home for us and the family, that gives you that security of knowing on a budget, here's what we get, unlimited camping. So I really think it's a really attractive program that you do give to the retail customer.
Yeah, it really is.
And we also, one thing I didn't address is we also do seasonal. So if you're a member and you want to do seasonal, you can park it, you can have a deck, you can have a shed, it could be like your cabin in the woods out here. You know what I mean? Now that obviously comes with a price tag, just like any seasonal out there.
Of
know
course.
What I mean? But here you're in a membership resort. You don't have to worry about the riffraff. We got 16 surveillance camera locations throughout the park, not to mention 24-hour security, and so I just did want to mention that we offer seasonal as well. So
Mark, let's talk about the fun stuff. What do you guys do there for fun?
I come to work every day, and I work at a campground, so that's fun. I get to talk with beautiful people like you guys for fun. But no, so I think seriously, like one of the things that we think is very fun is our public weekend Bridgestock. I'm going to bring that up again because it's fun for the community here and it's fun for our members as well. Because just one last thing about it was always the first weekend of August, but then they changed the NASCAR race, and we're close to NASCAR, so it affects our members and it affects how people camp around us. So we actually changed our Bridgestock weekend after 12 years of having it on the same weekend because of NASCAR, because our members wanted to be able to go to both. And I think that says something for it. I mean, it's not a huge festival, but it's fun to do for our community and our members. So that's a big thing. Now, in the area, there's all kinds of recreational areas, the state recreational things like that.
I guess I'm looking for what your campground, like if they're coming to your campground, did I see that you guys have ATV trails and things like that?
Yes, that is something also that sets us apart. You don't have to trailer your machine to a third-party location. As a member, you can ride on our trails. It's still, restricted times and things like that. But as long as your vehicles are insured and you're a member, you can have at our trails right on site here, 5 miles an hour. You know what I mean? We're not trying to go crazy out there, but it's a big thing that, a lot of campers don't, especially if you live far away, you don't get to bring your machines. So in a place like this, a lot of people are local, so they can go bring their camper out, go home and get their four-wheeler, and, because not everybody can have a toy hauler or a trailer behind a trailer,
Right.
So buy and membership, it does offer a lot of different things for people, especially in our immediate area, Maris, as you know.
Yeah, and I've had several consumers that don't like to have to trailer their vehicle away from their campsite.
Right.
They like to just be able to get to the trailheads from there, and you guys do a really good job with that.
Yeah. Yep. So another thing that we offer is we offer storage. So as members, they want to come here a few times a year. $15, we put it on a spot for them. A lot of times they can bring the truck back home and put it back in storage if they want. Or for 15, we'll put it back in storage. We pump it out, take care of everything, for them. They can go home. They don't have to wait in the line or anything like that. So it has have a lot of upside. You know what I mean? When it comes down to value per dollar and all. Do you
have any water for the kids?
Oh yeah. So I'm sorry. We have 2 pools. We have 2 ponds. We have a mini golf. We have organized activities every weekend. We have themes. Wow. I think one thing that we do this thing. It's for the adults. It's called the Wagon Crawl. And so it's everybody hops on the wagon or grabs a golf cart buddy, and they go around, and the volunteer, some refreshments, we'll call it, as you go around the park. And a lot of times what we do is a real poker run. So every time you get a card at each stop, mingle, visit, back on the thing, and then at the end, whoever has the best poker hand or whatever gets a little prize or whatever. And we call it the Wagon Crawl out here. So
with that,
you guys want to come check it out, it'll be a blast.
With that has secured my interest in a membership for the year.
Okay, well, thank you for joining in. The website is heartlandwoodsfamilyresort.com. No.
So it sounds like you've got a lot of amenities on site for little campers, adult campers, as Maris kind of outlined. I just want to hit on real quick, and I know a lot of it gets discussed in the membership, but I call it the meat and potatoes. Can you talk about, the sites? Are they gravel? Are they concrete? Are they natural? Sure. Hookups, 30, 50 amp pull-throughs?
Yep. So all of our sites are back-in sites. We have water and power on every site. We obviously have 50, 30, and 20 amp sites available. We have about 20 to 30 pads somewhere in there. We have seasonal, like we were talking about.
Okay.
So our sites, we have the honey wagon, so it comes around twice a week. You know what I mean? So nobody has to deal with their own, private dump station at their site or anything like that. We do have a dump station when you leave, if you wanted to do that. But like I said, a lot of times they'll wait until after we're done doing our thing on Monday before they pull out. So they'll just wait on site and go up to by the pool, or whatever. So.
Probably the most beautiful name I've ever heard for a black tank dump station, the Honey Wagon. I mean, I'm telling you, Mark, you might be a better salesman than me. So, folks, if you're heading to Heartland Woods,
don't bring that up.
Beautiful Honey Wagon as it makes its way to your site.
Yes. But you'll never know because you'll be at the pool soaking up the sun with a cocktail in your hand.
Oh man, I'm telling you, between the poker run and the honey wagon, I'm in for the year.
All right.
How about off the campground? I mean, as I mentioned, if I did my geography correctly, depending on how you look at the map, you are northeast of Jackson or northwest of Chelsea, then maybe. So what are some of the things that over the 10 years people go and do?
Sure. I would say, a lot of times we do draw a little bit of crowd from people that want to go to the races,
Okay.
the NASCAR stuff. We have, it may sound odd, but in Chelsea is the world headquarters of Jiffy, which is the Jiffy Mix pie crust or whatever. They
Okay.
do tours over there. And we've had people come here to specifically go to that tour. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I sit down and talk with the people that come in that we give the free camping to. So they got a free weekend and I got to talk to them and hear their stories. It was great. So another thing is we have lakes all around. There's Pleasant Lake that's close by if you'd like to do water activities. The Pinckney Recreation Area at Half Moon Lake, they have a DNR launch. You can go and launch there. They've got canoeing over there, horseback riding in Hell Creek. There's also, and we're in the central hub too. So if you want to go to the Lions game at the end of the season, you can stay here. If you want to go to a Michigan State game or a Michigan game,
Go Green.
well, yeah. Spartan strong.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's awesome. And there's loads of golf courses around the area, I know, as well.
Yes. Yep. There's Jackson at one time was like the second in the nation per capita as far as golf holes. Some went by the wayside, but we've got the Grand. If you like to golf at a professional course, there's a Grand. It's 25 minutes from here.
Do they still have the racetrack there? The horse races?
So they don't. It's the fairgrounds. They don't do the horse racing anymore.
Okay.
At the
It was so
fairgrounds.
fun.
Yeah, but they do. They do have like the Jackson County Fair there. You know what I mean? So that's fun. If you're around in August, you could do that. And there's like 6 fairs that you could drive to from here. During the course of the season. You know what I mean? Really, because Ingham County, Jackson County, the one over in Saline. You could go to all those within 30 or 40 minutes from here. So.
That's awesome.
The location is awesome.
So I'm excited because, like I said, the honey wagon, the poker run, you guys have a lot of things to do.
The
this
ATVs,
is probably, huh?
The ATVs.
Okay, ATV. Oh, also back to meat and potatoes. Do you guys allow grills or are there fire pits?
Oh, yeah. You can have a grill. Every site does have a fire ring if you want to have a fire, picnic table. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Upon request. They might not have them there on your site when you get here, but there's enough for everybody. So for sure.
Awesome. And I always like to ask about the contact, but I'm going to skip about Heartland Woods Family Resort first, because you have 2 websites you want to talk about, but this one is my favorite. So we're clear. I'm assuming, Maris, that Bridgestock is not a jazz festival, given the fact that the website for Bridgestock, if you're interested, which I assume is on the grounds of the campground, this website is rockyourfacenow.com, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So the type of music then I will assume is stronger rock music.
Actually, that's one thing that's really cool because it's like our hippie weekend. It's a good mix. So we'll have 2 or 3 bands on Friday night. So if you don't like one of them, you can come up in an hour later, check out the next one. And then on Saturday, we try to go anywhere from 4 to 7 bands if we can get them in. You know what I mean? So if you don't like the band, come back in an hour. You'll see something new.
Okay. So basically,
I'm going to bring Will and we're going to polka. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about polka, but I'll tell you one of the favorite bands that comes out is Clarny Creek, which they are like an Irish folk kind of band, and everybody loves them. So they're always fun guys to have out here. Last year, the son from that band, Possum Belly, played. So I don't know if you guys have heard of those bands, but just a little bit of name drop for you guys who are out here and kind enough to play for me at Bridgestock.
Very nice. So if people want to participate in the Bridgestock event, and that happens when?
It'll be August 11th, 12th, and 13th this year. They can camp for up to 7 nights with us, and it's $100 for the weekend.
Wow. So go to rockyourfacenow.com for all information, including dates, pricing, reservations for Bridgestock. And then what is the best way for people if they didn't bring their rock and roll gear, but they just want to talk about a membership and get a tour? What is the best way for them to do that, Mark?
Okay, so there's a couple different ways to go about that. The first way is they could just give us a call, say maybe they want to come out and camp while they tour. So they'll pay a small deposit when they check in. They'll schedule a tour with myself, hopefully, and then they'll come in, hear about it. If they love it, great. We'll have a great deal for them. If not, they get their money refunded, and they sometimes we'll even give them another week to camp.
So what is the phone number for them to call?
Gotcha. Our phone number is 517-565-3500.
Okay, so that's one way. I assume you're on the World Wide Web as well.
Yes, it is heartlandwoodsfamilyresort.com.
And are you possibly on social media as well?
So yes, check us out on Facebook. I don't have all the acronyms or whatever you say for the Heartland, but I'm sure it's Heartland Woods Family RV on Facebook. So
awesome.
And if you wanted to take a look at the marvac.org site, Mark, Heartland Woods, and all of our campground members are right there with links directly into their sites. So if you don't remember their stuff, you can always come take a look at the Marvac stuff.
100%. And I'm going to echo that because Marvac has basically turned into the diners, drive-ins, and dives of all things campgrounds. And as we're getting our listeners to engage more and more, I think we're planning people's calendars for them with all your members. And obviously, there's only one that has a rockyourfacenow.com site tied to their campground. And I'm really excited to hear about the event. When does Heartland Woods officially open for the camping season?
So officially we open May 15th, and that means we're full service. Stores open, delivering wood, the honey wagon's rolling.
God bless the honey wagon.
Please tell me that it has lights and streamers.
You know what? I'm going to take that and I'm going to run. By the time you guys come out, we'll have LEDs and twinkle bulbs.
Maris, we have to have marketing promote the honey wagon here at Heartland Woods. I don't care if it's just a still shot or something. God bless that name. Well, I got to tell you, Mark, it has been a pleasure for you taking some time to share all the great things that you guys offer all of your members. As I said in the intro, this is a great opportunity for those of you that are trying to set your budget, especially right now, as we have some little bit of chaos happening in the world markets right now, to make sure that you and your family have a great destination to be at for many weekends and make lifelong memories. And then again, NASCAR, you need a spot to go. Get a hold of Mark. You're ready to rock and roll. Got to get to Bridgestock this year, August 11th. So check out their website. Again, it's heartlandwoodsfamilyresort.com.
Yep, that's us.
And then again, and I can't say it without smiling, rockyourfacenow.com. Look for Mark and his team also on Facebook. And again, the diners, drive-ins, and dives of all things campground, my lovely co-host has you taken care of at the marvac.org website. Mark, thank you so much for being a guest on the Launching Life's Journeys podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely being here with you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
It was great seeing you, Mark.
Same here.
I'm Will Miller, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast, brought to you by Heartland RVs. Stay tuned for our next destination.